it amazes me how one person's brain could have designed and thought of all these things.
I couldn't have, sir. There was a production designer, Nitin Zihani. We had multiple meetings. We have a concept design team which is really good. They're from Jaipur, fully Indian, like Immortal Collective. We had an in-house storyboard artist, Venu. I mean, for a movie like this, I would say that we probably required a bigger team, but the team that we had was fully on board, and everyone was constantly ideating. I mean, I definitely had to okay the final aesthetic, and I would guide them and direct them the way it had to go. But if not for the concept designers and Nitin's brain also, this wouldn't have come out the way it has.
Kamal, that day when we had a general, when we were talking to the rest of the guys, he said something very nice.
Yeah.
He said, a lot of the filmmakers come to me and they describe the story, and they give me very efficiently made
concept
storyboards. But the point is that his opinion was that how does this storyboard actually get into practice, and what is the reality of it? It's all right to make some drawings and come, but he said that when I saw this and when I heard Nagi, I thought, gosh, it's going to be another one of those storyboard things. But then Nagi showed me some visuals which he had shot, and I believed, and just went ahead with it. What was the idea of the complex?
The idea of the complex was, it was like everything is there. It's beautiful. It feels like heaven. There's water. It feels like, animals are frolicking happily, and it's clean air and all of that. But there's something that feels unnatural about it as well. There's something that doesn't feel real, and it doesn't feel it belongs there. So it was that aspiration of man. I feel that when you go to the complex in the film, there is this idea that you need 1 million units to enter the complex in this world.
That idea was like a creative idea of yours?
Yeah, it was a creative idea. It was something to give a goal to Prabhas's character, and everybody in that world they basically were working around that goal. They wanted to make 1 million units to get into the complex. But my idea was that you can't make 1 million units by being straightforward. The complex wants you to backstab each other. The complex wants you to fight amongst each other to make that 1 million units, and they're just going to be at peace because these people are never going to unite.
That is what is happening in Kalki,
Yeah.
This whole backstabbing and everything, everyone wants to grab and go on to the top,
Correct.
That famous story about all of us, we are all like cockroaches, and everyone wants to go up, and reach the top of the lid of the bottle where they're in. So, you are catering to an audience, and there are many portions which I felt, as somebody who's been in the film industry, could understand that, okay, we are playing to the game. This is Prabhas.
For sure.
This is a Telugu film. And Prabhas is Telugu. And you have to understand that he's massive, and he's godlike there. So many elements which a lot of people felt in the first half, because of its length and so on and so forth. At times they were not able to understand, or saying, come on, let's get on with the story. But the fact is that it's like an intro to the hero of the film, but not just the hero of the film,
but also
the hero for the Telugu-speaking nation. And that is something that, people perhaps overlook, but we have to give it to them. At the same time, giving out to the audience, I've never lost a fight and I never will. Which are actually Krishna's words. And you've given it to Prabhas, to Bhairav. True. But the point is that for the common language that the Telugu nation that is gaga over Prabhas, it has an alternate meaning as well.
Also.
And that is, those are the claptraps.
So
I just felt it was a wonderful amalgamation of playing to the gallery, yet not entirely submitting yourself to them.
Yeah. It was a tricky line, sir, for
Yes,
sure.
yeah, that's a very thin line.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to go and sit in a theatre in Hyderabad and sit with this Telugu-speaking audience when they're seeing this, because they must be going wild
They are,
when,
sir, they
when,
are.
when they see Prabhas saying this, and all the comic interludes that he has, and they had wonderful little snippets, that she comes out with, which are valid for the film,
Yeah.
yet extremely valid for the common man. I mean,
They
how
were
did you think of that?
Like you're saying, it's a very thin line, sir. Like, there were a few things in his intro, for example.
Yeah.
Like, I think a new audience from Paris wouldn't make anything of it.
Yeah.
Because there's a hologram that is glitching. It says possible rebel, 5-star bounty.
Yeah.
And then it just glitches just for a moment right next to Prabhas and says rebel star for like an instant. And that's a claptrap for sure.
Yes.
And but for anybody on the outside, it doesn't make any difference. It was hard to design something like that. And there was something also where Bujji says, I have some fans, and Bujji says, yeah, you have a rebel fan.
Yeah.
and again, for another audience, it doesn't make any difference because he was a rebel. We established
right.
that.